Hello, my name is Butch Nieves, former Mr. America, Mr. USA, and owner and operator of The Hit Room. And I want to welcome you to our new show called The Hit Room, where we're going to talk about fitness, family, and business. Stay tuned. Now that you saw exactly what we do, I want to introduce you to my good friend, former client, now almost a brother of mine, Nick Madio. He's a
pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show.
Yeah, it's really, really great. Nick and I has really made a good relationship over the years. Started off as a client, and then we became best buds. And now I affectionately call you my brother.
Yep.
Because you're the first person I call, and I'm the first person you call. Yep. When things go a little bit crazy.
100%.
And we connect quite a bit. So, tell me a little bit about your story. Should I give a little bit, or you go?
I'll start. I mean, it was probably over 30 years ago when I met you.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
And wow, 30 years?
Yeah,
that long?
Years.
I've been dealing with you for that long.
Yeah, we started in the Bronx,
right? And
I was big, 400 pounds, and not doing well. Aches and pains, back pains, knee pains. And we started training on a regular basis, and little by little and pound by pound, we got there, and we just, we still go at it, and, taught me so many different things, and, not expect overnight success, but, here we are today, and I'm down 150 pounds, and I did it naturally, exercise and eating right, and comes from you.
Yeah, well, no, we learned a lot together.
We did.
We learned a lot together, which is great because you're also a great business mentor of mine that I knew.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, it went back and forth. So it was definitely a give and take for both of us. But let me ask you this. I want to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Right? We all know that the process is difficult at times.
Yeah.
It's a simple process, but it can be difficult.
Yes.
Let me ask you, was it worth it?
Well, it's definitely worth it because I'm living. I get up every day. I feel better,
Quality of life is better.
Quality of life is better. Dressing is better. Getting in and out of the car is easier.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And initially, why were you confident in the plan that I gave you initially? What made you feel like, okay, this is the way to go?
I remember the first day.
Really?
Yeah.
This is going to be scary.
No, but the first day you told me don't be perfect. Be good 80% of the time.
Right.
And I've focused my life on that now. 80% of the time, I eat great. 20% of the time, I cheat. I go to a wedding, I have a piece of cake. I go to a pizzeria, instead of 2 pies, I eat 2 slices.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really, that 80-20 rule that you taught me from day one has changed my life.
Yeah, that's an important thing. For most people, again, we're not professional athletes anymore. At least I'm not anymore. So you want to have a little bit of a balance in life, and it depends on what your goals are at that particular time.
Yeah.
But the 80-20 rule, 80%, you eat healthy, you train, you stay consistent. And the 20% is the time that you spend with a loved one, maybe going to a wedding. Like I went to your daughter's wedding recently, and having a little bit of cake, having a little bit of extra pasta, that kind of stuff. And I think that's a really good balance, because the number one thing that people fall off is because, number one, they get too hungry. They don't satisfy their hunger, and they get too strict, and they restrict themselves too much, and that becomes a downfall for most of us.
Sure. Well, when you can't have it is when you want it most. I mean, that's the truth, right? So I never say I can't have it. I always say I got to eat less of it.
Yeah,
that's it. So
that works out well.
Yeah.
Well, what needed to change to make it all happen? Like, why did you initially call me?
Well, life. I mean, you sit there and you're working hard, and you're becoming successful, and you're making money, and you have kids, and you start to think about what if something happened to me? What are they going to do? My responsibilities became a lot more. When you have kids, I have 4 kids, and you're raising them, and you're on the ball field with them, and playing in the backyard with them, and when you're 400 pounds, it's not that easy.
Oh, there you go. Let me ask you this: who was on board when you decided to do this? I remember your brother referred you to me.
Yeah.
And you gave me that phone call. I remember the first phone call. We didn't mention a lot of her stuff, but we were that first phone call, and I just wanted to know who was really backing you up at the time. Did you have anybody that was supporting you at that time?
I mean, look, my wife always supported me. You know what I mean? So I could definitely say that. My kids were young. Obviously, my brother, who does well, he's in the gym all the time, so that's one of his things. But I think the people around me in business, you go to a business meeting and you sit down at a desk and you're 400 pounds, and people are like, this guy doesn't look too good. Falling asleep. Had a severe sleep apnea back then, which now it's a lot better, not 100%, but we're doing much better with sleep apnea. But I would say my brother and probably my partners in business, my wife, they were really supportive of the change.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what do you think made the difference? I mean, I'm sure you tried to lose weight before that. And then when you finally called and we started on our plan, what made that difference to you? What do you think why you stuck to it this time?
Well, I think you got to be ready. That's first of all. But you also got to have a good support team, a good staff, keep you accountable. Accountable's big. I almost felt like if I didn't make it to the gym, I disappointed you.
Huh?
So...
Well, I hunted you down a few times.
That's true, too. You would call and, one of the things that I do love about, your guys and what you guys do is you do make it a family thing. Everybody there knows each other. Everybody roots each other on. And I think, you see the same people in the gym all the time, and that becomes like another family, the fit family, right? That, it helps because then you go there and say, hey, I was at Broccoli Rob last night. Well, I did this, I did that. This is working for me. And I think that's a big part of it. You walk into the gym and they're like, hey, Nick, what's going on? How's everything? Good to see you.
It's a friendly environment. We really protect that as well.
Yeah.
We really protect.
And I think the scheduling is important too. I think, you got to have a schedule. I think that helped me a lot being in business, knowing that I had to be at the gym at 10 o'clock, knowing I'd be back in the office at 11 o'clock. I think that was big for me, as opposed to a big box gym. Like I'm going to go at 10 and then you get sidetracked and before you know it, it's 12 and you never made it to the gym.
Right. And there's no accountability. That's right. The three things we focus on is exercise, nutrition, and accountability.
Yeah, for sure.
Without one of those things are missing, you're not going to happen. Yeah. Let me ask you this. If you can pick out one thing that was your biggest struggle in this whole journey of getting, healthier and more fit, what is that one thing that was the biggest struggle?
I think my biggest struggle is with myself, because
how so?
Because I think that it's not easy. It's not easy to get in shape. It's not easy to lose weight. It's frustrating at times because we all want to wake up tomorrow and be 20 pounds lighter, but it doesn't work that way. Science says it doesn't work that way. It's just it's a myth. People just say, yeah, go take this pill or do this or do that, and you're going to lose 20 pounds in a month, and there's no realization to that.
Yeah, well, I often say, you didn't gain it overnight, right. Or you didn't take a pill to gain the weight. You're not going to take a pill to lose the weight.
Right.
So was there one defining moment where you, if you think back to your past, and again, it's going back quite a number of years, when you think back to your past, it was that one moment where you said, oh, crap, I have to get in shape, or was that one, because a lot of people have a defining moment.
Well, I got to tell you, I have one thing when I was like a 6X and you walk into a store and the clothes are limited, and you're putting a 6X on and you're going, you got 3 shirts to choose from, and you're like, well, I want to wear this, but we don't have that in your size.
Wow, that's okay. That's a defining moment.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That stays in your head. You never want to get back.
At the same time, as I was losing weight, going back into that store and all of a sudden now becoming a 2X over time, your 5X. You got your 5X stack, then you got your 4X stack, your 3X stack, and you never throw them away. Mm-hmm. They're still there in my closet as a reminder.
It's time to throw them away. Give them away. Donate them.
Yes, I don't remember. If you remember, back then there was shirts called, I think it was Big Dog.
Yes, I remember that.
It was a brand like
I actually have those t-shirts.
And they were like funny shirts, but they came in 5, 6X. And I wore one of those shirts every day.
Oh, wow. I actually have them,
Yeah.
So, all right, let me ask you the last question. Last question. I think it's probably the most important question. I think for our new viewers out there, I think they really want to know about it. What would you say to someone who's out of shape or feels very unhealthy? what would you say to them to get them motivated or inspired or educated to move on to and make that commitment to say, hey, I need to get in shape?
Well, come to the hit room. Sign up. That would be the one. But the truth of the matter is, don't expect it to happen overnight. Just get started. Another thing, I remember all your stories, and it's about the after dinner walk. So you told me one time, walk to the first mailbox, and then walk to the second mailbox, and then to the third mailbox. And then before you know it, you're doing 1 mile, 2 miles every night after dinner. I said it, and I think that's a big part. Just start. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, right? If you have an ice cream every night, have ice cream 3 nights a week. You got to slow down.
Yeah, you got to balance it out. The biggest thing that I tell, especially for a beginner right now, also is like, we don't want you to get sore and crushed, especially at our studio. We want you to slowly escalate your fitness level.
Yeah.
As you get more comfortable with it, as you get more fit, then we'll start to push you a little bit more. But the big misconception, people go in and they want to just destroy the weight room, and they do an hour of cardio and 1,000 sit-ups.
Yeah.
Then the next few days they're either injured or they can't move.
Forget it.
And that's just not the way to progress. It really isn't. So we want to slowly, slow and steady, and let your body let you know when you can go a little bit stronger, a little bit faster. So
as a point, I think, again, it comes from you. The two things that really come to mind is, science says calories, right? If you're supposed to eat 2,000 calories and you eat 1,800 calories, you're going to lose weight. You exercise a couple of times a week, a half-hour session, 40-minute session, 3-4 times a week, I think is kind of what I do. You see, it happens, pound and a half, 2 pounds, And you on vacation, you gain 2, you come back, get back on point, lose the 2 pounds.
Consistency is key.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming out to the first show of the Hit Room. Pretty cool.
I feel honored to be the first guest.
Absolutely. There you go, man. Thanks again. We'll do it again. So then you go, Butchie Evans here at the Hit Room, and we're coming right back at you real soon.